everybody, I'm Katie.
I'm Becky, and this is Live, Laugh, Lorcana.
You seem so disappointed that we had to do an intro.
I don't know. We do it every time. We should just keep, just plug it in every time. Just kidding. It's fine.
People don't notice. They think that we're slacking.
I don't think that anyone would notice.
Do you have any life updates, like from your last 2 weeks from the holidays, Lorcana play?
No. Do you?
Well, I mean, life is a strong word. I don't really have one of those. But generally speaking, I had COVID for Christmas. So I spent a lot of time inside this house the last week and a half. So, important update. Last week, I revealed that there are 4 Pixar movies I hadn't seen. I got it down to 1. I watched 3 of them.
Oh, nice. Good job. Did you love them?
Yes, I did. I loved Luca. I loved Turning Red. Lightyear, I'm lukewarm on. It's a good movie, but I felt like the tie-in with the Toy Story universe was very weak. I had a hard time believing that was Andy's favorite movie. Because that's the premise they set up. This was Andy's favorite movie.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
No.
You watch it. Because I don't know children. Maybe that is something. 10-year-old? How old is Andy? Do we know?
I don't know, like 8 or 10, I would imagine.
Yeah, you watch that movie and tell me if it's something an 8-year-old boy would enjoy. I don't know.
Interesting. I'll have to check it out. I feel like probably though. What's the difference between that and Star Wars or a Marvel movie?
That's fair. It was very clearly trying to imitate Star Wars. Do little kids like Star Wars?
I think so.
Okay.
Or at least they like the fandom. I don't know if they're like really watching the movies properly.
I like the fandom, but I don't like the movies.
One of the downsides of having a kid named Lando is everyone gives him Star Wars stuff.
Well, your husband's also a huge Star Wars fan, so.
He is, but I don't know. We have a lot of Grogu in this home. Now, I gotta be honest, Lando's never seen the movies.
Lando is a great name, though.
Yeah, he's not named after Calrissian.
But is he?
No, I told you Lando is the combination of our names, our last names. But anyway, so when we met Santa at the mall, he's like, I know another Lando, last name Calrissian. Just like, shut up, Santa.
That's so good. Santa roasted you so hard. Speaking of, the other thing I did when I was stuck inside was I made Josh play a lot of Lorcana. And then that meant that I couldn't say no when he asked me to learn and play Star Wars Unlimited. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, it's our Girl Jedi Geek Girls thing.
Yeah, it's like the new Star Wars trading card game that's coming out in March.
Yeah. Did you love it?
It's pretty fun. I'm not going to lie. It doesn't come out. It's not out yet, but he printed out the Luke and the Darth Vader starter decks, and we played those against each other.
Yeah.
It's a fun game. Very thematic.
Are you making a podcast about it?
No, absolutely not. It's just going to be one of those games I play when Josh hands me a deck. I'm not going to really get into it. Are you going to learn to play Star Wars Unlimited?
Absolutely not. I think there's probably 0% chance. Maybe like a 2% chance, but very low. I barely have time for Lorcana.
I was going to say, when's the last time you played?
Okay, I don't play a lot, but I am not interested in that aspect as much as other things.
That's fair.
I'm here for the news. I'm here for the art. I'm here for the fan content. I'm here for, that kind of stuff.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the other thing is that I think I played Go Guy at League.
What did you think?
Yeah, that was so interesting because, those of you who aren't devout followers of the podcast, do you want to explain who Go Guy is?
Go Guy is just a young man who takes his stuff very seriously. And while you're playing, and he very quickly plays his turn and then will say, go to you for you to play your turn. And then you hit it back to him, blah, 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 go, blah, 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 go, back and forth, done very quickly.
Yes, you found it a bit aggressive and off-putting at first. We have had friends who were very put off by it. I honestly wouldn't have thought of his play style as noteworthy had you not both brought it up to me. Like,
Really?
wouldn't have thought a thing about it. Cause like when Josh and I play, we both know our decks pretty well. So we'll go through our turns really fast. Sometimes we won't even say anything. We'll just like point to things and then we'll just lazily wave at each other to pass the turn and like go back really fast. So like him going really fast and saying go to me, it didn't register as anything. Which is just very interesting. I think it says a lot that like what's comfortable for experienced TCG players is not necessarily comfortable for new players, and you have to keep that in mind.
That is very interesting. An interesting take. No, I mean, after I talked to him after we played, because he beat me in 5 minutes. Um,
Yeah, it was the same
and
way. We played a game and then we played a game for fun, and we were like 13 minutes in, like
yeah. He was playing Amber Steel when I played him. He has a very nice deck. But yeah, and I talked to him after, and he was like a completely fine person. Very nice man.
mhm.
He's great. I don't resonate with that style of play. I'm more of like a very casual player. Like I'm gonna do this thing, and then I'm gonna do this thing, and this allows me to blah blah blah. Jibbity beep.
I will say I also have a lot of TCG confidence in that I have zero pressure to match his pace. Like if someone's like going fast, I don't. When I started playing, I used to feel pressured to match their pace, and I don't anymore.
I felt like I was being rushed,
Right, right.
but I see that was probably not his intention. But I felt it.
Never, especially at a casual league event, never feel pressured to match your opponent's pace. At a competitive event, like play at a reasonable pace, and I guess you don't know what that is until you've played a lot of games, but like you don't have to match your opponent's pace.
Um, and do you want to talk about what I want to talk about?
Always.
I have a list.
You actually haven't had a list for a while. Let's
I
go.
just that's what I'm saying. Funny is a library to the table. Sometimes fun. No, you know what? I've been actually meaning to talk about this with you for a long time. I want to talk about cheating
Cheating in card games.
in TCG. Yeah.
All
So
right.
remember, we talked about it briefly, and apparently I came off very naive about the realities of cheating in TCG. And so I did some Googling about cheating and stuff. And a lot of these don't apply to Lorcana. Like there was like a really famous incident in a Pokemon competition where, they were messing with the prize pool, which there are no prize cards in Lorcana.
Mhm. But I've heard people, a common fear I hear about not being able to take notes is the potential of people to swap out their ink with their hand,
I could see that happening.
which I think is similar to what you're describing. Go on.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. People love to fudge the prize pool. Also, some people were talking about messing with mulligans, but I know the mulligan system is different between games, so I don't know what you could really like fudge necessarily in Lorcana.
What do people fudge in other games?
I don't know because I don't know what the mulligan rules are in other games, but like in the Pokemon Reddit, they're like, watch the mulligan. That's where most of the cheating happens. So I'm like, I don't know what that means. So we've talked about like intentional slow play as a way to cheat.
That's huge.
Yeah, that's a big one. Also, peeking while shuffling, very sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
And I also heard this thing, which crazy if true. A guy would, when he was shuffling his opponent's cards, would like do divots with his nails to make it look like they were marked.
Oh my gosh. That is so crazy though to like mark somebody's sleeve and then like call a judge and accuse them.
Oh, sneaky. Such sneakers. And then probably I think the most impressive sort of cheating is the sleight of hand cheating, where, where it's also magic. You got up the sleeves doing things, the chick chick, just making things happen for you. I think that's fun, personally. But they've caught people doing that on like recorded events, like big events.
Oh yeah. That's like
Crazy.
it's crazy how many times I've heard of people getting caught cheating on a camera.
Do you think all the cheating is caught when it's on camera? I feel like it has to. So I feel like you really need to not be trying to cheat if you're being filmed.
What's wild is I watch a lot of gameplay for Flesh and Blood, and there were a couple quote unquote cheating incidents where the player was disqualified. Like one player had a very long ban from the game, but like I watched it 3 times and I'm like, I think that was unintentional because like basically he was supposed to put a
Mm,
card on the bottom of his deck and he put it on top of his deck. But like because he put the card in the wrong place, they said he was cheating. And
yeah.
like I'm like, I genuinely think it was an accident.
I think probably the majority of cheating, that would be like definition cheating, is unintentional. I'm sure I've accidentally cheated before, like didn't follow through with an action or something or,
Oh, we
whatever.
all have, yeah.
But I just, wow, people is wild. And then my favorite type of cheating is seen in Yu-Gi-Oh! When my Valentine makes all of her cards different scent with perfume. Do you remember
I do remember that.
that?
Little far fetched. Not sure
I
I
feel like
believe
you
it.
could not. You'd really have to be up in there smelling to differentiate. Imagine like why does your deck smell like that? I don't know. Well, they're so far apart on the show. Like, Yugi and Mai are like 1,000 miles apart. They can't smell each other from that far away. But as we know in local TCG, we can smell each other.
So next weekend, you and me, we're gonna go in a Bath and Body Works. We're gonna hit up all the sample bottles. We're gonna spray everything different, and we're gonna see if it helps us.
Can we actually? We don't actually have to go to Bath and Body Works. I have a bunch of scents at home. We're gonna test it out.
We said we were gonna make more reels.
Here we go.
This is it.
My Valentine's strategy. Anyway,
So this is why I don't let you make lists because you just start with a topic that's gonna freak everybody else out.
why?
Now they're gonna be stressing about cheating.
Nobody stresses about cheating. I don't think that's what I'm saying. I think mostly everyone has good intentions.
Not everyone, apparently, but
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the Glimmer Gauntlet. So I saw that the Glimmer Gang is hosting the Glimmer Gauntlet, which is like a March Madness style sort of Lorcana tournament with content creators.
yeah, that is very exciting.
I think this is very fun.
Oh yeah, it's very fun.
I'm excited to see how things go.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting too because isn't it like it's only rares or lower, like you can't use
Yeah.
supers and legendaries, so it's going to be very different deck building. How I don't even know how you would go about preparing for something like that because it's like where are you going to practice? Because everyone you're going to be trying to practice against is going to be like using super rares and legendaries.
Using real stuff, getting a
Yeah.
real life experience. But also, I thought it's interesting because they're doing every ink combination. And
Hmm.
like, obviously, there are some more strong than others. Do you think of anything where you'd be like, oh, I don't want that? Or, oh, I hope I get
Ooh, I hope I get Emerald.
with anything?
Yeah, with anything. Maybe Steel. That was my favorite combo anyway. But like, just Emerald has such strong like uncommons and rares.
It does, for sure. For sure. Is there anything you would hope to not get?
Not off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't really, maybe because everyone kind of focuses on what's like really good. I don't think if anyone like is talking about like the worst combinations.
Maybe Sapphire. I feel like Sapphire isn't very good. I say it to the Amber Sapphire player.
So rude, so hateful. No, I love Sapphire, but honestly, I could see it not being super viable with a rare and under.
I feel like I've seen in data that it is the ink we see the least in top eight.
That only makes me want to play it more.
It's related to a question we have later, so that's interesting.
I love it. Okay. Those are the top two things I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, most of our episode will be listener questions. We'll rely on our listeners to create our content. But the one thing I was gonna bring up, because it's like New Year's weekend, it's like kind of like a time of reflection. So I was gonna ask what your favorite Lorcana moment was this year.
I'll need a minute. What's yours?
SCG Con, Stargate City Games Con. It was just like really, really fun to like go to a big trading card game convention with like you and Jen and Amber and like go in with like a group of friends like that and like play Lorcana at a big convention. It was really fun. I just loved it. I loved it so much. I loved you guys being there. Favorite moment for sure.
Oh, I really like that too. I thought the coolest thing was when we were invited to the Illuminateers stream.
Which one?
The women's roundtable was
Yeah,
very cool.
that was awesome.
It was just a really good time. And it was such a cool thing that they did. I loved it. It was really cool. We were super honored to be included. I loved it.
And women in TCGs is my favorite topic.
I know it is.
And then what about this podcast? This is episode 18. Are you surprised we made it this far?
No. Are you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
With you in the driver's seat? Of course we made it this far.
Oh, I thought you would lose interest.
I would do anything for you, Katie, even if I hated it.
Oh.
Because my biggest fear is to disappoint you.
Oh my gosh.
My entire life. Yeah.
I don't want you to do this if you don't.
Oh no, I do like it. I'm just saying in general. I'm just saying, even if I hated it, I'd still be here.
Oh my god, I don't like that. I hate that answer.
We're having a lot of fun. And it's nice that we're doing something together because we don't do enough together.
Yeah, and I've learned from talking to you a lot. That's the main reason you're doing this podcast.
It's because I love you?
It's to have something to do with me. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could have just asked me to lunch.
No, but then we'd have nothing to talk about at lunch. No, you text me all the time now. There's been like years where you barely contact me. So it's been like very nice and lovely. And I feel like it's been really good for us. And we talk to each other a lot. And we always have something fun to talk about. And it is just really nice having something dedicated that we do together because you're my best friend.
And it's like I've always had like interest and they're usually separate from you, and then when there's like something like big or dramatic going on in the community, I like have no one to text and talk about. So like having you to talk to about stuff is just like the best thing ever.
I enjoy that as well. I enjoy when you text me stuff, especially if I've already seen it and I'm just like, I'm so on top of things.
You're like, saw it, had my reaction.
That's great. I love that. Now I just need to get you to start reading and then, that'll be our other podcast.
Sure. Do you have any hopes or goals for Lorcana or the podcast in 2024? Becky's like, you really put me on the spot with these questions. Her face is saying it.
Lorcana, I don't know. I think we all collectively would like to see, by set whatever things being very easily accessible, mainstream, maybe move from, this sort of elite group that we are, where we're kept on top of when things are coming out, to like the average person being able to go into Target being like, check this out. Let's pick this up, kind of thing.
Absolutely. Do you have like personal goals with relation to Lorcana, like obtaining certain cards or like going to events, anything?
I really enjoyed going to SCG Con with you as well. I would like to go to other events. I don't see me traveling much, but I would like to go. I like the vibes. And I've bought stuff on TCG Player, and they really let you just buy that card. They're like, yeah, this thing's super rare, and you can just have it if you give us money, and that just feels crazy to me. It's really just like a couple clicks, and it's yours. It's wild.
Yeah.
I do want to play more. I don't know if I have goals of getting better, but just more comfortable with what I'm doing. What about you, Katie?
Honestly, my goal for Lorcana is to just find and focus on the fun. It's something I'm not very good at doing. I don't know if you remember when we started this podcast, like the reason I left Flesh and Blood is because I didn't want to play TCGs competitively, and that was the only option in Flesh and Blood. So it's like, I'm going to go to Lorcana and play casually, but like once we started preparing for SCG Con, it like turned something on in my brain where I like got really obsessed with the meta and like grinding games with meta decks, and I haven't been able to turn that off in my brain, and I'm really honestly gonna try and just focus on having fun and like building friendships through League and stuff, because I think like my job is very difficult, and I kind of just need my hobbies to be fun.
That's legitimate. Yeah. When you're very focused. Well, honestly, I feel like if you were very serious about, competitive TCG, you could make that like a full-time thing.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. So I can see how you can easily fall into a spiral and that can be overwhelming. But I love you playing more fun. That would be great. Although I also love competitive Katie, I'm not gonna lie.
It's hard for me to turn competitive Katie off. I'm
It's so
trying.
good. It's so good.
I still like a fun competitive. Like when you and I play and are just like kind of like mean to each other, like that's a great
Love that.
time.
That's fun. Yeah. I like
But
that
like you
too.
can do that without like having this like really I need to win like meta deck built.
Right. Just like I want to be you, little
Hmm.
brat.
Yeah. You get
I
it.
love it. I do.
What about for the podcast? Anything?
I don't know. I feel like we're kind of a continuous work in progress. I don't know how, like, I have no idea what direction things are going to go. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I don't know. We've been interested in having more guests on, which I think is fun. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think like you said, it's a continuous work in progress because I think we talk pretty regularly. But I guess honestly, just to keep doing it, to be honest, like I didn't think we'd make it this long. And also the same thing is have fun with it. I'm very hard on myself, so I have an uncanny ability to turn everything into work.
Yeah.
So just trying to have fun with it with you.
We talked about doing some reels. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, I really do want to do reels. That would be fun. And now that we're like on podcast every other week, I think we have a little more time to make that happen.
I think that'd be cool.
Because not everybody wants to sit and listen to a podcast.
I don't.
Totally fair. Like a ton of people don't. I listen to 15 to 20 a week, so I can't relate, but
I listen to zero.
I know. These are our confessions.
These are our confessions. Yeah, sorry. I would rather read something than listen to something.
Well, I'm kind of the same way with YouTube content where it's like I don't have a lot of free time for my eyes. I like
Mm.
exercise and drive and do chores and I can listen to podcasts while I do that. But like
Oh, see, I'm kind of the opposite. I don't have, listening time for my ears. My kids are always screaming.
that's such a good reason why you can't listen to podcasts.
Honestly, there's always something, or like loud toys, or like there's always just like something kind of keeping me from
Hmm.
being able to focus on something listening wise.
Yeah. All right. Did you have anything else? Reflection, goals, dreams, ambitions.
Just want to say, what a nice little community we have here.
Hmm.
I mean, our personal community with our Live Laugh Lorcana Discord is delightful. I feel like, the larger community has been like very supportive and nice to each other. And I love seeing like I get such a little kick over like on Twitter when I see different creators I know like boosting each other up and stuff. And I'm just like, this is great. I
I
love this.
know. Like the whole community is just like so great, and so giving. It's really awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, one quick note for our listeners, like one of our big goals has always been to elevate the female and gender diverse voices in the community. That's why like we do a featured creator like that every week. That's why we have that list that's in our show notes. But like I try really hard and I just can't find all of the creators. Like I know there are creators out there I don't know about. So if you're one or if you know of one, like please just be like, hey, you missed this person. So we can get them like added to stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's hard to find because I'm sure there's so much content out there that we have not seen.
Oh, definitely. Especially like I'm not on YouTube or Instagram that much. It's like Twitter and podcasts. That's what I consume. And if you're not on one of those places, like it's really easy for me to miss you.
For sure.
All right. So we can go into listener questions.
Shall I read them?
Yep, that's your job now.
Ugh. I'm just kidding. Remember how last time I kept inserting a little commentary? I won't do that.
I think people like that.
People don't like it. I promise. Okay. Listener questions. Rav Garrett asks, question, if you could add a product to the lineup for each set's release, what would it be and why?
Pins. Pins,
Pins,
pins, pins, pins.
pins, pins across the board.
I know what you're thinking. Oh, there's pins in the OP kit. Well, guess what? Our league has 60 people and they get 6 of each pins, so the math is not good for me. And you know what? They just did a round of promos and like 23 people had max 40 stickers. 23 people. So the likelihood of me ever getting a pin at that store are very, very low. Just so I like buy the pins on eBay, but they're like really expensive. So please just let me buy the spins directly from you. That's all I want.
Yeah, no, the pins are crazy hard to get, which is insane to me. I don't like it at all. But yeah, I'm also a huge fan of pins. Also, I like little things. I love a little trinket. So somebody mentioned like a little lore tracker or something would just be like chef's kiss.
Yeah, Lord Tracker would be cute.
Or like a little figurine. Just like a little tiny guy of like Taylor Mickey I could just put somewhere.
Oh, brave little Taylor. I do love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also would love Dragon Shield sleeves. Maybe even Game Genic sleeves.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Sleeves like made with a great sleeve developer because I'm sorry, those sleeves are just not it. I tried using them because I knew I was going to throw shade on those sleeves on this podcast, so I made myself use them for 4 games last night, and it was hard. They like stick to the mat. They're kind of hard to shuffle, but it's really the sticking to the mat that I have a problem with.
I totally support that. I love fun sleeves. So I would be all about that for sure. Yeah, because I haven't bought any of them because I've heard they're not very good. I'd also like, I don't know, I love things. Like the deck boxes. If they were like a little nicer, it'd be great. I guess if you're a kid though, like that's fine.
Yeah, I could see Lando, and I meant to give that to him. I have it somewhere. The Mickey
I'm
deck
going
box.
to keep it for myself. If you give it, if it enters this house, it's mine.
Okay. Well, I'll give you that. I have Elsa too if you need it.
Yeah, I want to collect all of them. I'm gonna make a pyramid.
I love that.
I do too.
Do you want to read the listener answers? Because there are actually a lot of good ones.
Yeah, for sure. So, Toony Fish says, "Ooh, a little limited edition tracker," which I love. Duct
Mm-hmm.
Tape Paladin and a few other suggested challenger decks, like we talked about last week. Rav Garrett said, "Personally, I want a making of art book that comes with an exclusive card." Honestly, love that. Love an idea of an art book. Jedi Geek Girl was hoping for a higher end gift box with 2 more packs, exclusive pins, and 2 exclusive collector numbered promos, not serialized, with new art. And B Square, it says art book, concept art, full art of all the amazing cards. I do love the idea. This is not B Squared still talking. I do love the idea of an art book that shows more of that behind the scenes concept art. I think that would be really, really, really fun.
Same, same. And I know like Liam from the Illuminateers mentioned how he wished instead of those puzzle pieces, they had like what I'm talking about the in the
Yeah.
pack that they had like 12 different concept arts of different cards.
Oh my God.
That would be so good.
I love that. Love, 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 love that. I'm wondering if, because I mean, there's only been 2 sets, but I'm wondering if maybe after a few sets, they might do an art book like that, like a concept art book.
Yeah, I hope so. I love the art.
Me too. It makes me very happy. Okay. Rav Garrett asks another question. If you could spend the day with one of the glimmers from set 1 or set 2, which glimmer would it be and what would you want to do?
All right, my answers are Belle Hidden Archer or Cinderella Stout Hearted because badass women. And maybe Belle can teach me archery or Cinderella can pass on her knight training. That was my choice.
That's a really good answer. My choice was Minnie Mouse zipping around because my dream has always been to have a Vespa since I was like 8. And you know what we would do, Katie? We would get on our Vespas and we would ride around Hot Dog Hills and we would go to boutiques and buy bows and shoes. And then we would go to a little cafe and have a little drink of tea and some banana bread baked by Clarabelle, and it would be beautiful.
That sounds awesome. And it also reminds me of Luca because of the Vespa.
We love a Vespa. I got Lando a little Vespa. He's too small for it. It's just like a toy, but it's like, God, I want one for me. Jedi Geek Girl says, which two inks would you say describe each of you the best? Not like what you play or your play style, but who you are as a person. Am I describing you or are you describing me? Or am I describing me or you?
I described us both. I'm gonna start because yours is gonna be better than mine.
Okay.
So I really was struggling with this, so I went on the Lorcana site and looked up the descriptions for all the inks. So high level, amber glimmers are purposeful, amethyst glimmers are wondrous, emerald glimmers are flexible, ruby glimmers are daring, sapphire glimmers are intellectual, steel glimmers are strong. All right. So amber. Amber glimmers are purposeful, patient, and dedicated. They're able to pursue causes with ambitions with single-minded persistence. This is kind of like the Hufflepuff of inks to me.
Yeah.
So I gave this one to both of us.
Oh.
And then for you, I said emerald because they're flexible, gifted with the ability to adapt to changing circumstances and never caught off guard. Quick thinking. So that's you. Then I gave myself sapphire, which is the intellectual one.
Cute. So I was thinking sapphire for you as well, just because, intellectual thinking, doing those things. And I also gave you steel because you're like defensive and like, you're always wanting to protect people and support people. And I think that's really sweet. And for myself, I gave myself amber for similar Hufflepuff vibes. And probably my other one is going. Can you say what amethyst was again?
Um, Wondrous.
That's pretty much me. No, I'm kidding. So we're gonna play what's it when you take things down instead of build them up, like process of elimination. Yes. So I would probably I don't agree that I'm flexible, so I'm gonna give myself amethyst. I feel like there's just like a little bit of a sneaky vibe to that.
There's that one also talks about like special powers and stuff like that.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting. It feels a little volatile. I like it. It's me.
Yeah, I still think you're flexible. I think you can adapt and succeed in any situation. I think steel would also be good for you because I think you are very strong.
I'm better at analyzing other people than myself.
Yes, because your answer for me was beautiful, obnoxiously great, which is why I went first. I didn't want to like go after you.
Next question. Jedi Geek Girl also asks, you are each granted the power to immediately ban 3 cards each. 6 total. New duplication of each other's picks. Which 3 cards are you picking and why?
All right, so I want to say right at the top that this is Live, Laugh, Lorcana, and that we will be making decisions based off of our personal feelings, not based off of meta analysis, which is how they would normally do it.
100%. Yeah, this is just us.
If you're interested in that like meta analysis, like what really should maybe be banned, the Forbidden Mountain just did like a fantastic episode on a potential ban list. It was like an hour and 15 minutes, and I was riveted. All right, my first one is A Whole New World. See, most competitive players say that is the one most likely to actually get banned.
I've heard that, yeah.
Yeah. But like for me personally, I just really hate the play style of dumping out your hand and refilling it. It disrupts everything. And like if you built your deck to better use a bunch of little guys quickly, like you're in such a better place. And I just don't like the play pattern of like dumping a lot of characters and refilling your hand because even playing it, it feels very messy. Like I think Lorcana is a very elegant game, but when you play like that, it's like my board is gross. There's too many characters. I can't fit them all nicely. I don't like it. And I hate playing against it as well because it's like, oh, I don't have a be prepared or grab your sword. I lose. Number two, this is super controversial. Rockstar Stitch for the exact same reason because you just dump your hand and refill it. I don't like that. And then number three, at this point, I just realized that I hate Steel and Amber. I just always have. I hate playing it and against it. So let's just get rid of Ariel, Spectacular Singer. She makes the deck too good. Get rid of her.
I love it. Those are beautiful answers. You remember how like my answers were like good on the last question? Your answers are good on this question.
They're terrible. No one's going to agree with them because they're going to be like, Ruby Amethyst is so much more busted. Like, I get Ruby Amethyst. Like, I know how to play it. I know how to play against it. It's elegant. Amber Steel is like, bleh.
Honestly, I love that. That's a great take. Speaking of elegant, great take. Okay, so everyone knows my two least favorite cards are Fire the Cannons and Grab Your Swords. They're stupid. I hate them. I like to play a lot of little guys, and that is the enemy of little guys, or both of those cards. Bah. And then I'm going to pick something that I think isn't a crazy answer. Be prepared. Really throws off what I'm doing because I'm usually in the middle of doing something. And then that happens, and it's like, yeah,
I was having fun and you ruined it.
100%. Honestly, I feel the same way about A Whole New World as well.
Oh, really? Because you like the cards in your hand.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm doing stuff here.
I had a plan. I mulliganed perfectly.
I was gonna play this next turn.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get it. I do.
Wait, can we just say how many people in the chat or in the Discord predicted you saying Fire the Cannons as your first choice? Everyone did. Everyone saw it coming.
Nobody's talking about it except for me. How busted that card is. It's like I'm the only one who can see how busted it is.
Yeah, apparently. I guess if we ever do merch, ban Fire the Cannons. That's it. That's the merch.
It's horrible. Okay. Legend of Zenga asks, when hearing discussions regarding competitive play and hear things like that card is trash or that's unplayable, does that discourage you away from playing cards you want to play in the way you want to play them, or does it push you in the other direction where you want to show the world what your deck and your favorite cards can do?
It has no impact on me whatsoever, to be honest. Like statements like, oh, that card is trash, like implies it's always bad and always going to be bad. And like, that's like almost never true. Like, there's probably some like magic Christmas land scenario where it's a good card and, you know, maybe you can build around that, or maybe you're just building around that's fun, or maybe it's from your favorite movie. Who cares? But like, people are going to have a reason to play it. And if I have a reason, I'll play it and not think twice about it.
Legitimate. I also think in the same vein, I don't think there are any universally good cards. Maybe that's controversial.
I don't think so.
I mean, it just depends how you use it and like what you're building it around. So I don't think anything can be trash, really. And like we always say, we want you to play the way you want to play with the cards you want to play with. That is what we preach here. So for sure, nobody has ever told me that card was trash. And maybe because I'm kind of trash. I don't.
No, I don't think that's true. What about those guys who used to bully you and tell you?
Oh yeah, those guys used to bully me, and you know what? They didn't really bully me, but yeah, commented that I am trash. Well, that's the thing. I don't even think I can determine if a card is trash or not. So, are there any trash cards, Katie? Can you name one that somebody thinks is trash? I don't know.
If it's not Baroque, work
Oh,
together.
that card is trash. Yeah, if you're playing that, you're playing. I'm just kidding.
Stop
I'm just
it.
kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Well, it's like oh, I can think of a card I used to play that people have commented on is that Hades King of Olympus, that card. Some people are like, nobody plays that card. I do.
Did they tell you it was trash or unplayable, or just like you're the only one playing that, like implying it?
Implying that it was trash. Nobody's playing this because it's not very good for how the cost and all that.
And how did that impact you?
I don't care.
No,
Yeah.
like I don't care. I will say that some people get really discouraged and will feel embarrassed that they're playing it. So just be careful when you make statements like that.
Maybe just don't make statements like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't tell people they're playing trash because they might like their little guys. I play a lot of little guys. So there you go. Next question. Beautiful Precious B Squared asks, I have a question I almost forgot about. I know Becky watches League of Legends on her own, and I wanted to know from both of you, would you be interested in watching an official Lorcana events, and what would they need to look like in order for you to be interested enough to watch?
Yes, absolutely. I will almost definitely watch the events. I watched a lot of Flesh and Blood back in the day.
So I've not watched competitive TCG before. I do love watching League of Legends gameplay. But only on like two metrics, like when stakes are really high. Like I'll watch like Worlds and stuff like that, and it's fun. Um, and I also like to watch what people do silly stuff. Those are my like two things. I don't know if I would particularly enjoy watching TCG. I think I will for sure if when they host official events, but I don't know. It feels like it's kind of might be a bit of a slow sort of play.
Yeah, I'm not sure I see you watching it, to be honest, but I feel like at a high level, you would maybe put it on the background and be very interested in who won and be like invested in who the players are, maybe.
Ooh, invested in the out. Oh, you know what? That's what I meant to say. Okay. So in League of Legends and esports in general, which I don't know if this is similar. Well, I know that these do exist in TCG. The concept of teams, I love a team. I love getting psyched about a team. And on the team, they all have kind of like different, play styles, different vibes, whatever. And it's cool and it's a cohesive thing. And you can like root for your team rather than like an individual player. And I think that's fun.
Yeah, that's interesting. There definitely are teams in TCGs. I don't know of like fans for teams usually.
That's crazy.
I feel like I've always been fans of individual players, not like a whole team. But
That's fair. Yeah, I think that would. Yeah, I would definitely watch. I don't know how excited about it. Rob Garrett mentions that the announcers need ridiculous outfits, and I am so here for that.
yeah, absolutely, great suggestion.
I love a silly outfit for myself and others.
I can talk about the second part of that question, which is what would they need to look like in order for you to be interested enough to watch? First, it goes without saying, but I'll say it. We'll be much more likely to watch if Brandon is announcing.
100%.
There we go. Um, the only thing that I need to watch is just that there's good video and audio quality and that I can like tune in and see what the cards are. Because that the only streams I've turned off, it's because I couldn't follow what was going on just looking at the screen.
Yeah.
But what, we like to have is commentators that know the game well, but also can fill time well and are fun to listen to. Cause like there's like a lot of natural downtime in a game, like when people are shuffling and like getting organized, like if someone goes into the tank. So like having commentators that can both like really like explain what's going on in the game, but also be entertaining is really great. And then third level, let's kick it up a notch and put good content in between rounds. Because, like, right, like the actual gameplay is going to be short of these very, very long convention days. So, like, let's get like interviews with game designers. Let's get interviews with artists. Let's like have Ravensburger staff like giving information, do player profiles, like go around, interview people in the halls. Like, heck, throw in like Disney behind the scenes stuff. Like, in between. So I think like really there's an opportunity for like a big production. And like Disney owns ESPN, so it could be like on one of like the ESPN suites of
There's a few of those.
yeah.
That's awesome. Katie, you're so smart. You have such good ideas. I love that too. And yeah, we need some fresh, cool, young announcers
B squared.
like B Squared. Could you ever announce?
God no.
Me neither.
I don't have that like this podcast thing that we do is not like a natural thing for me at all, but then to do it for 8 hours and also like paying attention well enough to explain what's going on.
I can barely pay attention to this podcast. I have to have a fidget toy.
You do glaze over sometimes. I'm just kidding.
Did you notice?
But yeah, I mean, we have a lot of great content creator friends that we'd love to see announce. Liam, John T,
Oh, they would all be good.
Dan, Jared.
Say a woman.
Dan commentated with a woman in Miami. I don't know who she was, though.
Look it up.
I don't think she does Lorcana specific content.
Oh.
Would love to see at least one woman as a part of the commentating staff. For like a huge event, like for an event that has budget, you should have like a cast of at least 4 or 5 people that are rotating out. Some can be on the floor doing interviews. Like sometimes they'll fill downtime. There's like a thing where they will start with like a trash common card and like start trading it and see what they can trade up into like throughout the course of the event. I've seen them do that before. That's really fun.
Oh, that's cool.
Sometimes the game designers will even like hop on and commentate a match with one of the like talent people.
Oh, that's really cool. I had no idea. I love it. Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd watch. Oh, we can make a day out of it, Katie.
Yeah.
Make snacks.
I'm all about it. Ready for those events to be announced in January.
Fantastic. So Rav Garrett also asks, what's the most silly and niche location from a Disney movie or show you would want to be as well, a location?
Ugh, creative questions. We're in the creative question section. Wreck-It Ralph is just one of my favorite movies. Whenever I'm asked something like this, it's what I resonate with. So like, you know, obviously something like Sugar Rush Speedway would be awesome, but I'm thinking I'm going to choose Diet Cola Mountain as my official answer.
Wow.
And I don't know exactly what it's going to do, but it's going to do a lot of damage when it's destroyed or banished.
That's beautiful. I racked my little pea brain for this question for way too long and I came up with like nothing. So I'm actually stealing an answer of a location that exists in Kingdom Hearts, and I think Monstro is a good answer.
That's a great answer. That's the whale that swallows Pinocchio.
Yeah. And you could hang out in Kingdom Hearts, and I think being in the belly of a whale is fun.
That's such a good answer.
It's a real pea brain answer.
It's great.
FPS Madness asks, if you could fully create a card, any character, what would it be? What would their card say? Power, health, ink, cost, inkable, uninkable, etc., etc.
Yeah, we did do this once before, but I figured we got asked it again. It's time to do it again. The designers have to do it every day.
I don't remember what I said last time, so let's see if I repeat it. Go ahead.
Well, guess what I said last time? I said vanilla pecan sweets. And this time I'm saying Wreck-It Ralph. It's apparently the only movie that I know. I'm saying Fix-It Felix Jr., Town Hero. He's going to have an ability called Magic Hammer. And if you exert him, you can remove all damage from a character or location.
Beautiful.
The numbers thing, I hate. I did not want to give numbers.
My numbers were not right.
I'm like, because it's like, this is the part that they really actually have to like think about and balance the game in the meta. And I was not prepared to do that. But so I just threw out 2 strength, 4 willpower, inkable, 3 cost, 1 lore.
Beautiful. My answer is Jolly the Goat, who is an amethyst card. Troublemaker is the description. Yeah. Okay.
No, I'm sorry. What's that from?
Jolly is Esmeralda's goat.
Oh, Oh, I'm so sorry. I haven't seen that movie in so long. I need to rewatch it. Great answer. Loving it. Continue.
Yeah. So he, they have like a little thing. It's like, doesn't take kindly to soldiers. And then I'm going to give a challenger +2.
That's so good.
Thanks. And then I don't know how to do numbers. So I have 3 cost, inkable, 2, 3. That's my numbers.
Those are numbers.
Those are your numbers.
Raffensperger, you can find us on LinkedIn.
Please don't look at my job history. Too real. Okay, so those are all of our listener questions. So Katie, why don't you tell us about our featured creator?
All right, our featured creator this week is Dan and Lily. This is an account for Dan and his 6-year-old daughter, Lily, as they discover the Inklands together. Their account, LorcanaFanatic, is a super positive voice in the community that has been a joy to interact with on Twitter, and it's been amazing to see dad and daughter make magical memories together through Lorcana. Over time, they've also been converting more of their family members to Lorcana players, so it's another great reminder that Lorcana is a game for bringing the family together.
So be sure to follow Dan and Lily at LorcanaFanatic on Twitter and Instagram.
So I guess we're ready to wrap up our show. Tell the people.
Oh, right. I have more things to say, don't I? I
Yeah.
forgot how the show works.
It hasn't been that long.
Well, thanks for listening. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter and check us out on YouTube for this, but on YouTube.
No, because you can also, if you find us on YouTube, find the "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" parody that we did.
Honestly, our best work.
It really was.
And be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And we have a Discord, and it's great, and it's lovely, and everyone is nice. And come tell us about your pets.
And until next time, remember to live, laugh, and lore.